Hello and welcome, I'm Tim and this is SV Paquita. And after Paquita has sat for five weeks now, all by her lonesome, we've come back and look, it's like a bomb hit it. No crackheads were living on board this time. This is all self-induced. Came back to some problems we knew were happening and some problems that continue to haunt us. So, let me just kind of give you a quick run-do. Don't worry. If you want to see boat stuff, you make sure that you see Sail Life. Nad's over there. He does the best with that sort of stuff. But into the forward head we go, and into this little compartment here. If you can see, there's no longer the bottom part of the windlass in there. And a couple things happened. I kept noticing that the windlass did not have the oomph that it once did, and I also noticed that it was making an odd noise. So I cleaned the upper part that they tell you to do all the time, and that was relatively easy. It wasn't that hard to do, and something that I'll be doing more often. But the lower part was the problem, and it looks like I need what they call a mirror. It's a mirror, mirror, is that how you say that? A Muir Storm 1250. And so like a new one can be sourced for about $2,700, I think, like that. But this is just the gearbox. And so I sourced that for like $770 some or whatever. And that's coming, and that will come next week when I'm at work. But I've got a new one of those, and I'll show you all about that in a minute. Okay, so this is Tim the next day, and as I said, I had removed the windlass motor and gearbox, and here it is. Just wanted to, after I was putting the video together, I said, you know what, you guys probably want to see this. Look at all this stuff. This is all what salt water and aluminum do when they get together. And they're not supposed to get together, and it's because, I believe, of this. Now, they call this a horizontal windlass. I don't know, I always get it confused. But anyway, this motor actually sits like this. And then this goes like this, and that turns the drum that's out on deck. And this, yeah, that was on the bottom. So this sits like this, and where all the turny stuff is and all that, everything's supposed to be cool. Oh, actually, that's not right at all. This goes over here. I don't know what I'm doing here. Yeah, that goes over here. And so this, I don't really understand it, because there is no way to grease this or anything like that. There's a plug here, and I've tried to open it up, but I think it's like a cast-in thing. It's not a real thing. But anyway, I was able to find this Defender. They make this in I think New Zealand or something like that, or somewhere down there. Anyway, they with the tax and everything, it's $818 just for this. So what I'm going to do is try, I've ordered that should be in, like, hopefully it might even be in this afternoon or tomorrow, but that's coming, and Chris-Lead and I have to leave, and so that will be here when I get back. And I'm going to try to order from them. New Zealand, maybe? That's where it is, I think. Anyway, if I can order a rebuild kit, I'd like to have my buddy Sean, who helps me out with a whole bunch of stuff. He might be able to take this apart and rebuild it, and I don't really know how to do that, and that's his thing. So anyway, as you can see, we have cleaned it up quite a bit, as you can see by all this stuff and everything else in there. But this is, like I say, it was hard to separate these two without breaking this, and I didn't want to break it because I do think, and looking online, this is something that fails often. The motor seems great. I was going to replace the brushes, but they seem to be fine. When I get a rebuild kit, I'm probably going to get another one of these, just so that, you know, a year down the road I can take it apart and change this before this goes, which would be, that would be like really cool, I think. Yeah, so like that. But I don't know, does it go like that or like that? You would think that it would go like that. I think it probably goes like that. I'll see when the new one comes. But wherever this thing goes, Yeah, it can't go there. It's got to go here. Yeah, that would make more sense. Because this is where the water comes down here. So if that held the water in the upper part, then it would keep it from going down inside. But I think this thing is supposed to be full of fluid and everything, and it doesn't feel like there's anything in there at all. So I don't know what's going to happen. But anyway, I figured some of you would say, what is that all about? And see all these? This is kind of cool how it's rigged up. But they have a neutral or negative right here, and positive, and you put positive and it runs one way, and you put positive and it runs the other way right there. And so if I could have another one of these on hand, if I get to the South Pacific and this thing dies, I'll be able to swap it right out, which would be really cool. So I just wanted to put that together because I know there's going to be somebody saying, boy, I really wish I could have seen that. And if you get into this, if you ever have to do this yourself, prepare for a lot of boat yoga. There's not a lot of room in there, and luckily I don't really have too much claustrophobia or anything like that, but I'm an old fat man. I got in there and I felt like a sardine. But anyway, I'm all hurting now. Got it out. That's the important thing. Feel like $1,000,000, and I didn't break this because it was welded. You know, the different metals with the salt just welded themselves together. So I kept opening it up with a blade and putting more and more fluid in there, and finally I got it to open. So anyway, just thought you'd think that was interesting. But the other problem was that our head continues to give us trouble, where we have broken up the calcium in the lines, and it's gone, and it's got caught in where the hard 90 degrees are. And so now I thought the last time we were done with the all the breaking out of the calcium that had formed around the things, I thought I had gotten rid of it all, but I think I got one more thing. So that's a really poopy job, and we got that done. So we are freshly out of the shower. Everything's destroyed over here because we've been working on these projects. You can see this is part of the hose pipe where the chain comes down, and unfortunately where it was put right here, I couldn't get the thing out, and it's all glued in place, and they put screws in with nuts that you could take this way, but you'd have to have your hand on the inside to stall out the nut. So I couldn't, so I had to cut it off, and I think when I put a new one in, I cut enough so I'd have enough so that I could slide a space in there and a space in there and a new thing down there. But maybe I'll put that in with, I don't know, maybe like a spot that I can glue a couple spots and drill them out, so if I ever have to move it again, I don't know, something like that. But anyway, let me show you. There's the gearbox. This right there, there's the end of the motor, and the motor sits horizontally like this, and this is the culprit right here, where this seal sits in here, and it goes over to this thing, and this is where this goes up to the, you know, the part that's on the deck. As you can see, all this nastiness was in there, and it was so hard getting this off. I was so scared that I was going to break this. So what I did was I just used a knife, and I cut in here, you know, with a you know, a utility box cutting knife, and I cut in around there, and then put a screwdriver in just enough to hold it a little bit, put some penetrating oil, waited a couple hours, did a couple more, because I was really scared that if I broke this, I wouldn't be able to do anything. The whole bill is $815 or $818 with the tax, and that's with free shipping. So so I think that because I really see the Windless as a safety thing, because I can operate it by myself back here, and when you're dragging, I want to be able to haul that Windless right up and go over and get to a new spot and drop it again. And luckily dragging isn't something that we do often, but what I want to do is get to my buddy Sean and have my buddy Sean, I've asked him if he could do me a solid, and over the course of the next few years or whatever, rebuild this. I think he's going to take all this part. There's a worm gear here that spins like this and turns this way, and it's all messed up, but the motor is fine. Hopefully. So that's what we've done. We've got both of those crossed off the list. My buddy Rick came over, and we killed one of the bottles of wine we got from the place, you know, from the vineyard. But something I really want to show you about is, you ever wonder about how the copper coat's doing? If you remember, it's been like 3 months that we've had it in now, and I was supposed to go in every 4 to 6 weeks and give it a nice easy brush with my hand. But not only is it really cold up here in New London, Connecticut, but the water's kind of yucky too. So I haven't really been excited about doing that. Well, wait till you see what we came back to. Okay, so we're in the dinghy coming up to the Paquita. Look at this! Look at all that growth under there! Oh my God! I was about to die. Look, it looks terrible, right? I freaked out. I was like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? And then I started to realize something. Yeah, spin around, I'm gonna drive with the wrong hand here. But see all that nastiness that's over there? Not that nastiness there, she looks divine. Look over here, look at all that growth. What I realized was she's heavy in the stern because of all the stuff that I put back there, including the arch and the dinghy. The dinghy stays there, you know, when we're gone. But as you come up here, where the actual copper coat is, look at that! Look at that! Yeah, there's nothing on there! There's not a thing! All our hard work. Oh, looks like there might be a little bit of slime there, but who cares about slime? Look that off as soon as we get down to warmer waters. Oh, I'm so happy. Look, there's a little bit of that slime you can see that they say just comes right off with your hand. I'll have to check that out. We're going to pick up a fat guy wetsuit for me. but anyway, the rest of it, I can't see all the way down, but it looks like as the waves go by, it looks like it's just right on the rail, you know, right on the oh, what do you call that thing, the stripe there. Anyway, so 3 months, well, it went in 1st of July, and July, August, September, and now it's the first. Yeah, so yeah, exactly 3 months. I haven't done a thing to it, and if you know anything about this harbor, it is a petri dish. Everybody else's boat's all messed up, so I'm pretty happy with that. If that's all I have to do is scrape the stuff that is left over, you know, meaning from what was on top of the boot stripe. That's what I'm trying to remember. If that's all I have to do, then I'll call that a win. But anyway, we're off to go visit my daughter. My daughter had a longboarding accident and broke her elbow, and we got to go see her and pick up some more stuff at Rick's. So that's our excitement. All right, say goodbye.
Bye-bye.